everyone, welcome to Carmen's Australian Storytime. The surf is very rough today. I think we're going to get some rain. And I have an Aboriginal elder that I work with on a regular basis, and she brought in some beautiful books that her auntie, Ruth Hegarty, has written, and she's given me permission to read them, so I feel very privileged. And if you can find these books, get them, because they're the most beautiful books, and she is a great storyteller, Ayana. And the book is called Pip and Pim, and it's written by Auntie Ruth Hegarty and illustrated by Sandy Harold. I think I'm going to tackle some of this artwork in my art class. Love it. Just a little blurb saying Dr. Ruth Hegarty is an Aboriginal elder and award-winning author. Pip and Pim, the possums. That's a p, isn't it? Pip and Pim sat huddled together high up in a tree. They had slept all day, and now their round brown eyes were wide open. See, possums come out at night. Tonight, for the very first time, they would go down to the forest floor with their parents. Ringtail possums spend most of their time in the trees, so tonight promised to be a real adventure. The sun slipped out of sight over the horizon as Pip and Pim eagerly watched the red sky fade into dusk. They do have the most beautiful, beautiful eyes. Kookaburra's call gave notice that the day had ended. That's that funny much louder than what I'm doing it. Come, Mama, the excited baby possums called. Mama reminded them that since this was their first walk, they needed to be careful. Let's wait until the moon comes over the trees, Mama said gently to her two impatient babies. The babies looked up, their eyes as bright as the countless twinkling stars that lift up the dark sky. As the moon slowly appeared, the bush seemed to come alive. The cicadas couldn't wait to call to catch others, almost drowning out the song of the night birds. In the distance, a curlew's sorrowful cry could be faintly heard in harmony with cicadas' constant hum. Yeah, the curlews, they sound very scary when you first hear them. It's like a weird scream. As the golden light spread over the forest floor, the night creatures crept out, keeping to the shadows. The possum family made their way down to the ground, scurrying along the branches of their tree home. Slowly, Mother Possum said, "You have a lot to learn on your first night of exploring." "Have fun," Father Possum said, "but always remember to look and listen for signs of danger," he added. "And don't go too far." I tell lots of children to be careful and don't go far, and guess what they do? Yeah, they want to explore. "Yes, Papa," said Pip and Pim, paying no attention to Papa's warning at all. The moment their tiny paws touched the ground, they scampered off in search of fun and new friends. They met the Echidna family making their way to their favourite anthill. "How strange they are," said Pip. "Do you think they'd like to play?" Pim asked. I don't know if I've ever seen possums and echidnas playing together, have you? Pim scampered towards the smallest echidna. The baby echidna immediately rolled himself into a spiky ball. Pim squeaked and jumped backwards as the echidna's spikes pricked his outstretched paw. "What is there to be afraid of?" Pim asked. "Not us." Father Echidna laughed. "No, not you." That's what they do for protection. The possums came across some bandicoots busily digging holes in search of food. Pip covered his eyes as the dust flew furiously around him. "I think they are too busy to play," Pim said. "Come, let's see who else we can find." But most of the night creatures had no time to play with them. They were all busy foraging for food. Yeah, most animals, they don't really play, do they? They're hunters and gatherers. The possums scurried through the bush, poking their faces into burrows and climbing up and down trees to see who was home. They were getting further and further away from Mama and Papa and their home in the forest. This way, Pim shouted, looking back at his brother and not looking where he was going. He stopped suddenly, having stumbled straight into a plover's nest. Oh no. Mother Plover cried out, "Who's there? Who's there?" She was sitting on her nest, keeping her babies warm. The next moment, Father Plover flew at the possum, screeching loudly, "Get away from here!" His loud cry wakened other birds as they slept on their perches high in the trees. The sound of their screeches filled the babies' ears. Pip and Pim had never heard such a noise. The possums ran as fast as they could away from the horrible sound and back towards the gum tree that was their home. The stars were beginning to turn their lights out. The moon was going down behind the trees. Soon dawn would break over the whole valley. Oh, I think they've been out for a very long time. "Papa, Mama," cried Pip and Pim as they spied their parents waiting for them in the undergrowth not far from their gum tree. "I thought I told you not to wander off too far," Papa scolded, but his voice was kind. "Back home, both of you." "Up you go," Mama said. Exhausted, the two possums leapt upon their parents' backs and were carried safely up to their nest. High in the treetops, the kookaburra's laughing sound heralded a new day. And bedtime for the possums. Heralded means to call. And, while we're waking up, they're going to bed. This is a picture of Auntie Haggerty. Now, she was a child of the Gungari Nation and the Stolen Generations and grew up in an institution known as the Girls' Dormitory on the Cherbourg Aboriginal Settlement. This place was her home for 22 years. And you can read all about Auntie Ruth, and she believes that this generation of children will learn lessons of great importance from her stories. Yes, like listening to mums and dads and looking after our beautiful wildlife. Did you know that possum in Kabi Kabi language is Jawan and kookaburra is Gagu? Kookaburra is an easy one to remember because it's kind of the sound they make. So try to remember those two, Jawan and Gagu. Thank you for joining me on Carmen's Australian Storytime. Definitely one for the bookshelf, and can't wait to have a go at those illustrations. Thank you, Sandy Harold. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and I look forward to reading to you again soon. And check out, I don't know if you've heard them the whole time I've been reading, but check out the waves today. It's pretty rough out there. And blue bottles everywhere, so no swim for me this morning. Bye for now.